All right, welcome everyone to RGN. Our producer's game has crashed, so do not be alarmed. We are getting into the match. He just needs to get back into the server. So starting off here on Dust 2, just envision it now. The pistol round is live, and well, indeed it is. So moving into things, it is Euronics Gaming versus Alternate aTTaX. I am Sprawl, joined by Laser Jesus. And we'll see how this one turns out. Dust 2 is our first map. This is Alternate aTTaX map choice, as they do start on the T side. Moving into the second map, it'll be Overpass, and then Cache as our third Scrunk. Finding first blood here in this round, and actually no CT spawn smoke for this middle to be interesting. Well, it's not actually a middle to be. We got Kazuya working catwalk with the bomb. What is going on here, Laser?
Well, they're trying to go back and forth. Ooh, I don't know how that nade connected, but nice little fadeaway onto the catwalk. I thought Scrunk was going down for sure for free. He got caught out at mid. Maybe that's why we didn't see the mid to B smoke. They thought they could just straight up frag him with the way he was playing it. But suddenly, Alternate aTTaX, they're not in a favorable spot. But wow, Kiwi's going to jump down. He's a madman.
And now a 1v3. Kiwi is going to donate his life. And, well, Kazuya can't do much about things either. 3-man gets quad kill on the pistol round. So nice way to start here on, again, Alternate aTTaX map choice. Euronics picking up CT pistol. And again, to go back to how that panned out, more or less, the T's committing out mid, expecting to maybe find an easy frag there, but it really backfired.
Yeah, Scrunk, he was able to get a fadeaway frag, making it into the CT spot, and they spent so much time just trying to battle him. And Scrunk stayed alive for quite some time, allowing his teammate inside of the B-bomb site to throw some flashes over for him. Alternate made a round out of it, though, at least getting that bomb plant. And what a crazy decision. I forget who it was. I want to say Kiwi in the 2-on-3. Yeah. He just jumps down. If there's one player there and he wins, like, even then, it's still, like, a super risky move. But in that spot, you have to get control of catwalk or log, and they didn't have control of either. So I think that's why the gamble was made.
I went for the crazy play. Did not work out. Moving into this round, we will see just P250s across the board. They got that bomb plant in the first, like you had highlighted. So AK's moving into the next. So they'll try and work their way up catwalk. If they could get another bomb plant, obviously that would be fantastic. Moving into the next round, you'd honestly see everything that they require bought into the round. But, well, they're kind of caught out in the open here. And Kazuya is now all alone. It's going to be a flawless one. Scrunk picking up 3 with the UMP. Fails are going to pick up 2. So, again, great start for the CT side. This is the AK buy, like I had highlighted, though. And a good chance early here for the T side.
Yeah, one of the easier first rounds for the T's. Just coming in with the equipment. Failser has upgraded to the op. So the rainbow buy for Euronics. No op just yet, of course. Failser will know this, might play a little bit more greedy at mid, more willing to take some of the duels. One member at the top of mid, just about to cross now. Good timing on the smoke by Alternate. Very slow, methodical work up mid. And this is something you often see on the first gun round. Teams will either go for just like a super hard commitment and try to set the pace that way, or see what you got and see if you can hold their default.
Now, Failser gets flashed out of middle, falls back to CT spawn, attempts to re-peek, and, well, he whiffs the shot. So, easy frag to start things off for the T side. Tizian finds 1, but Scrunk trades back immediately, so great work on the defense. We got Kiwi attempting to lurk into the B-bomb site. No, he's actually in. I didn't recognize he's on top of the boxes already. But Kazuya is still towards middle. So he's hoping to spot out a player, and he does exactly that, but auto blindsides him with the MP7, so that'll be a better weapon for him to pick up, obviously. Scrunk grabs an AK as well, and it'll be a 1v2 as the bomb is not going to be planted immediately. Bait plant coming out, trying to create a 1v1, but you can see Euronics sticking together.
He's really trying to bait somebody out. And Euronics will just allow him to get the plant. I mean, Kiwi was constantly re-peeking. And his position is an interesting one. He goes opposite big box at plat. If nobody goes tunnels, this should allow him a free one whenever Euronics do enter on in. But they're really thinking that Kiwi is going to re-peek, and he's constantly doing it before, but now he's gone silent. So this is a lot of time that Euronics has wasted. being very careful entering onto the bomb site, but they got to find him, and quickly. One for Keeve, and now there's no way that Strunk can find Keeve in time to get this defused. Even if he gets him, I don't think he's going to have enough time. Oh, man, he might just have it. Yeah, he's got it.
Just barely with enough time, cutting it as close as quite literally you can get. So, like you had stated, Euronics were playing a very slow retake, and to be fair, I would rather them do that, but at the same time, imagine that the solo T was playing tunnels and just kind of baited a little bit more time out of them. It wouldn't have worked out. So it does work out in the end, so you can't be too critical. But
yeah, the
I do like the slow,
too
concise play. Yeah, it definitely was. But, well, we'll make it out of there. So 3-0, alternate aTTaX. Follow it up with a bye. And it's because they did create a 1v1 in the end, so the CTs would be forced to save if they drop this round, but not the best of equipment on this T side. They get the frag out long, though, and that's a good start, as it looks like we'll see an A split, but still an op towards car. Skrunk finds one towards CT ramp. He's traded off, but 3-on-3.
Failser, he's going to try to stay alive. He puts a smoke down to extinguish the incendiary coming his way. This is looking pretty good. Best chance so far for alternate aTTaX, I would say. David is first on the scene from the catwalk. Threeman still wants the duel from the CT area. And they might even call a save off of this. Well, not anymore. David comes up the catwalk onto Keeve, so there is still a crossfire in play from alternate. So if Euronics can make their way past this, wow, Tizian's just going to peek off of it. Excellent flash work coming up from alternate. And now Threeman got no teammate, will separate the T's by getting that smoke down, but the crossfire, a bunch of damage done. And I like that little crossfire there. It's similar to on Cash, rotating into the A bomb site from, say, like checkers, and if you have a player in sight.
Yeah, Crispy able to help out from the long A position, so it works out well for alternate aTTaX. We'll see a save coming in, like I had stated, immediately off of that round loss, so CTs, although they found 3 rounds in a row, no comfortable economy. So it should be even a double. Well, we got 1650 on Threeman. We've got some richer players, but again, probably a double save here as we see Skrunk goes down first and foremost, and we'll see a bit of creative play, at least a catwalk aggressive push from the CT side. Otherwise, nothing too fancy. Looks like David and Threeman will walk on through middle to help out, but Tizian will be the lurk. He takes a lot of damage, but finds 2 frags for himself. But that will be an AK over to the CT side. So at least they got that for themselves, and I think Otto is going to look for a little bit more.
Yeah, if David saves the AK, then I do think we'll see the buy. I think we see the buy coming out anyways, because Euronics didn't invest a dime into this round. So if they were to double save, I think they would go for P250s. Could just be tricking me, though. Could be dependent on if David survives or not as well. They're going to go for the hunt, and wow, good control by David. They'll reset that AK and at least take another one with him. So will we see the buy? I think they just got enough, and it's like they have too much to consider saving, I would say.
I got Threeman on 3,500, Otto's on 3,900. The call has been made. They will buy into the round, so I suppose with the equipment they pull out of it, should be all right. Threeman is going to be playing towards B with that Mag 7, so I would say that's pretty much the only viable position play. I suppose you can maybe get aggressive on catwalk, but speaking of which, Failser tries to do exactly that, and he's put down by Tizian, so good start for the T side, and they'll work out middle. We can see it's a 2-2 setup, as Otto and Skrunk are working together towards long A. And I'm uncertain as to... That smoke must have been a botched one. I imagine that was for the long A house, but Skrunk whiffs that one. And 4-on-5, we'll see where alternate aTTaX... what they want to do here. They still have a player towards long A. Keeve is going to flash out. That smoke comes down, though, and he will fall off. So some posturing towards middle. Threeman gets aggressive into tunnels, but he won't be able to find anything. So Kazuya puts him down, and the advantage grows stronger for the T side.
Skrunk down in CT2. Wow, a sweep of a round from alternate. It all started with Euronics getting aggressive on the catwalk with the single player. He goes down. And then one of the B guys with the Mag 7 decides he has to make a move. And that can happen. Because there's a lot of impetus when you're down players as a CT to try to just find some aggressive play to get yourself back in the round. But what can happen sometimes is everybody goes in one by one trying to get that advantage back, and everybody dies. That's a big round for Alternate, because surviving with everybody, the last eco that we saw, Euronics didn't get a single pistol kill, and that's something they need, because if that happens again here, I mean, Alternate's going to have like 2 or 3 buys that Euronics going to have to deal with. As Keeve catches one on the cross. I think he caught him in the air there. Quick reactions.
Nice frag to start off the round. David goes down inside of the B-bomb site, and, well, it's not looking good at all. Looking to find flawless anti-eco. Sprunk dives in through the window, puts quite a bit of damage into Tizian, and Failzer finds a frag for himself and an AK, but gonna get anything else for himself. Tizian very low, but without armor, aim punch could be effective. Not going to be, though. Tizian falls, so at least the 2 frags come in. Euronics getting some damage going here. And Keeve, always a man that's game, so it seems. The player on pistol round that dove into CT spawn likes to hop around and take as many duels as possible. Wins his with the Tech 9, so will not drop that AWP. He was the man with that in his hands. Of course, it would have been picked up by his teammates, but still. At least they find the 2 frags. That'll keep the economy in check, but Alternate aTTaX still got their Opera or Keeve, specifically on 10k, 8k on Crispy. So they're building it up, certainly.
Euronics has to stop giving up the opening kills, because after that, Alternate, they work well off of each other and don't seem to struggle to close out the round. Of course, they don't want to play too tentatively, so they're playing at 2-1-2. Will transfer it into the 3 towards long, so it seems. But Alternate just waiting around on the catwalk, waiting around at long, wait for any aggression to come through. And Keeve solo out long. This guy's crazy. He wants these fights everywhere. But that time, nothing really comes of it, other than it's known that Euronics are playing at least 1 player inside of the pit. There's still a lot of the round left and still a lot of options for Alternate. But I'm not sure where they're going to fish for this entry. Because this round, it looks like Euronics playing a little bit more stale and not wanting to give up that entry.
And one thing to know, we got a minute left in the round, and there's only flashes left on the CT side. So could come into play that they don't have a lot to counter whatever play the T side eventually comes up with. On the opposite end, you still got plenty of smokes, Molotovs for Alternate to work with. And they have the bomb inside of tunnels. So although they've got a lot of players towards the catwalk, I imagine we'll see a bit of a fake, maybe a variation where they hop into CT spawn, and looks to be the case. Well, rest in peace, Tizian and Kazuya thinking about doing similar things, but he's going to bide his time. So they do have 1 player able to get out middle, but the 2 B-bomb site players decide to just exit, and that'll be the B-bomb site for free. So although they retake middle, they've lost the bomb site, and well, Kazuya is still doing damage over at A. Luckily, they find 1 towards B. Keeve is still alive and well, and actually all alone.
He's going to try to go for the suicide plant, pulls the incendiary, doesn't have time to do that. They needed to free up a little bit more space to work with. Pulls the incendiary, yeah, no chance in the end. Euronics, they handled that quite nicely. It was a fake catwalk down towards middle, and then the mid to B split. And it's interesting to note that Alternate elected not to put the CT smoke down. They had one down for on the A side of things, but not towards middle. And that did allow one of the CTs to come through and put some work in. But Alternate, they sold such a good fake, and I'm not sure it was intentional in the end of how good that worked out. As Euronics, they had 2 players outside of B, but they just still didn't know that it was for sure going to be a B play, because Alternate had a player running around in A, so spreading themselves pretty thin. But when you get the B bomb site like that, 2-on-3, you got an okay shot to win the round. But their A player went down early, and then another entry now for Alternate.
Yeah, damage dealt to Otto here, and Failzer falls. So not a good start for Euronics moving into this round. And considering they survived with 3, they've rebought a lot of utility and such, they have no money at the moment. So immediate save if they drop this round. And that would be good news for Alternate aTTaX. Honestly, since the rifles have come onto the field more or less, well, we did see that early early buy in the third round, and that didn't go the way of the T side, but then they won the force buy thereafter. So see another frag to follow it up for alternate as they work up towards catwalk, and Otto, again, he's been tagged already, so he picks up the AWP. That's going to be his best shot, but can't hit the shot. Tizian takes him down, and 2 on 5. I think save should be called. You still have full utility on all those, all the remaining CTs, so wouldn't be a bad idea.
Tizian's been playing really well with the AK, and most of his frags, he hasn't been spraying at all. It's been tap, tap, tap. I was watching him in the pregame, too, and that seemed to be all that he was doing. Maybe the save, maybe not. I don't think David's going to be able to survive this flank by Crispy. Oh, he will. An alternate. Do they want to throw themselves at it? Is it worth it to go for the suicides here? I don't know, because there's like 2 CTs already set up. They do want to go for it, though. And Threeman, they'll be able to protect David, maybe, as they exit on out. Wow, David goes down, and Threeman to follow. That's definitely worth it.
I can't believe that they survived as long as they did. David, like half of his the back of his player model was like showing to Kazuya as he was firing at him inside of tunnels. That it took them quite a while to actually put him away, but eventually found it. Threeman falls as well. At least got a little damage in before he went down, but still not a fun spot. We'll see the save coming in. Kiev is doing great work at the moment. Puts down Threeman. So early frag, and again, Euronics need to be getting some damage in these rounds. They've been doing all right, getting a couple frags here and there, but this one not looking so promising. Skrunk is ninjaing inside of a smoke currently towards B. Maybe he can find something. No. He decides to waltz on through, goes down, and it's left up to Otto and Failzer.
Yeah, I don't see the way they get any kills here either. Maybe Otto has a dig. They're trying to line it up onto Searson, but Keith, was that a double?
Yeah, I think that was a collateral. What a guy.
Well, I wish I would have been on his screen. I was watching Otto fail with the dig. Nicely done by Kiev at the distance with that op. And if you can consistently pick the cross, like that's... It's not 100% mandatory to smoke the cross unless you want to mask your numbers, but it is mandatory if there's an opper that can consistently hit that shot on the cross, because there's not a lot of people that can consistently do that with such speed. And
oh my god.
That was just an awful peek by David. He just jumped really badly there.
You hate to see it. Considering last second they decide to buy into the round, and you can see it's kind of awkward equipment. And considering they get that pick, they want to see if they can just bully their way into the B-bomb site. Won't be as effective as maybe they would have hoped, but still damage dealt to Skrunk and Threeman. So not an awful situation. Otto still playing inside of the pit, peeks up. Skrunk does find one towards middle. Otto able to find one as well, and all of a sudden this turns around. Kiev with a second, but needs to do a little bit more than that considering his teammates are very low.
Frisbee will go down, peek in. Skrunk follows it up. Nice teamwork there. Skrunk just comes up and helps his teammate out. But Tizian, this guy's been so dangerous with the AK, and both the CTs are split. He's got to play some whack-a-mole with Otto, though. Just hanging out. Surely he's going to win this duel. Tizian's going to have to hit a nasty pre-fire, something like that, to bring down Otto. Ooh, I like that. You know, smoke off the player in pit and try to deal with Threeman out at long, but Threeman wins that duel. So Euronics, despite giving up the entry frags, do win that round. This round, though, it's massive. Like, alternate, they should have been able to close that one. The op of Kiev is looking on fire. Euronics need this round so badly, otherwise it's going to be a big, big half for, I was going to say our German side, but both of them are German for alternate.
Kiev looking for that mid pick again. He will finally have a round where he's not going to do any damage, so we'll see. Alternate, put 3 towards tunnels early. And we'll see where Kiev decides to go. Again, very aggressive currently. And, well, it looks like this round is just going to hang out in T-spawn for a little bit longer as a flash comes through the mid doors for the T's. And I like how they work their way out middle before they actually smoke CT spawn. A lot of teams will throw the CT spawn smoke from Xbox because it's really safe to throw. But it really telegraphs your play. So coming out middle like that and then doing it... It's a small detail, but I like it. 3-man, as we can see. He vacated the B-bomb site. Now he's holding upper tunnels. It doesn't work out, though. Tizian eventually comes on through, and I'm uncertain if Kiev actually knew he was there, but it looked like he was on to him. And, well, Euronics left with 3 players, and it will be a save.
Yeah, I think it was just alternate identifying. Like, there should be another player here, and he's not. So where can he be? Probably in tunnels. Keeve's taking it really passive. Not a terrible play, not a terrible idea by 3-minute all, because is he really going to hold the bomb site with 4 people flashing over when his teammate's already dead? Probably not. So maybe try to catch a flanker, moving about inside of the tunnels. There's more frags for alternate, stripping these weapons away from Euronics, who this is really the only thing they could bring out of this round is any sort of weapons, because they got fragged all over the place. Otto goes for the no-scope, and he stays alive with very little HP. It shouldn't have happened, but they'll hand it over to Failzer. And Keeve and Tizian, if they can maintain this pace throughout this best of 3, like they could single-handedly, or duality, something like that. What am I trying to say, Chad? They could win it themselves.
Definitely. No, the duo could be impactful enough that they could be the stars. And at the moment, you could see Searson, for example, is on 1 frag, 3 assists. So again, the other 2 players above him a little bit better on the stats sheet, but we will see again that op is the only thing the CTs have to work with. So Failzer speaking towards mid. They decide to stack towards B, but as we can see, Scrunk should alert his team eventually once we see a little bit more noise from the alternate guys towards long. We'll see that smoke, or not the smoke. I thought that they were smoking the cross. Flash comes in. That at least alerts Scrunk a little bit. And there's the smoke I was waiting for. And actually, Failzer goes down. Can't blame him for attempting to get aggressive there. Keeve takes some damage. But they actually get that boost up in time. So Skrunk's got a chance here. He falls back towards quad. Otto finds 1. And if they can at least tag them up, kind of split them up towards the cross here. Ooh, Scrunk not hitting the shots he was looking for. Can't find anything, as he was the one who picked up that op. So 4 left alive for alternate. And again, they're looking good here on their map choice.
Yeah, could see double digits for alternate still as this round won't be the most fun for Euronics. And even if Euronics get everybody gets a kill and say like alternates still win, like they don't really have much of a chance to put any economic damage in, because the final buy of alternate will not be affected no matter what. So I guess you try to get an AK out of the round. It's one of those weird spots on an eco. It's no real good option other than just flat out winning the round. So 1 for 1 so far. Otto, there's the D. He might even get another one here. This would be a big pickup for Euronics, and they bring everybody down at long just with pistols.
Yeah, looking good. It'll be Tizian, again, top of the scoreboard, with Searson bottom of the scoreboard. So we'll see if they can work together and find the round. They have the equipment advantage outside of Scrunk, but David able to put down Searson. It's now only Tizian. 1v3, the guys look solid, but this is quite a bit to ask for.
Yeah, the players at long, too. Like, how does he even begin to take the fight with them? As the player inside of the pit, probably not going to win that duel. You give the guy inside of pit some support, and then it gets even worse for Tizian. You might find 3-min. The timing, though, right when he looks away. 20 HP remaining, and I don't think 3-min's going to repeat that. Did put a bunch of damage into Tizian, though, and that just makes this all the more impossible. There is something to say about economic damage from the from Tizian there, but will go down, and Euronics with a big steal. Now, no double digits, and probably an even half. I mean, 8, 7, 9, 6, a pistol round. Just going to determine who gets that early momentum. But I'm wondering, on the T side, is Euronics going to be able to find the entry frags that alternate has? Because 6 or 7 is not a bad CT scoreline, but I don't think alternate is going to give up the entry frags as easily as Euronics had been.
Yeah, we'll find out how it goes on closing halves, as this is the last round of the first half. And yeah, I'm interested to see. Again, Euronics was able to pick up pistol round, the 2 thereafter, and then just 3 random rounds out of the rest of the half. Quite honestly, they haven't been able to string anything together, so hopefully for their sake, they can grab this last one. Alternate, they would obviously feel good with 9 rounds, considering they did not pick up the pistol round. So moving forward, gotta feel confident, as we'll see Euronics with an interesting setup. Well, Failzer is off towards car. Nothing too crazy over there, as he's posted with his AWP towards the catwalk. Scrunk is boosted inside a CT spawn, so if alternate try this middle to be again, which honestly it actually looks like they will not do so unless they decide to send all their players out mid. Usually they'll have some tunnels present, so that being said as well, though, usually you'll see a player towards long if you decide to hit this A bomb site. At least one, but looks like they are going to be shifting things up in an interesting manner. Smoke is placed forward on the catwalk, and they've got a mid-smoke down for CT spawn as well. Kiev walks out, but it's a catwalk commitment.
Yeah, showing that op at mid, trying to throw Euronics for a loop, but they need the entries onto the bomb site because they're going to have control of catwalk, and that is it. If they can't hold that, Euronics should still be able to take this one, and this is not a good post-plan setup for alternate. They need to get some players onto the catwalk. Now they will. Problem is, still smokes in the hands of Euronics. As David, he'll be the catwalk player. Another very slow retake. They're waiting out all these smokes. As Kazuya wants to take the fight into CT. Somebody jumps down again. They really like that play. As Kiev whipping a couple with the op. He's at the back. The barrel's on top of the ramp. He goes 1 for 1. Kazuya trying to fade away onto the catwalk. He'll get away. And now he's just got to find the player diffusing inside the smoke. The angle, though, taken by Freeman. It was genius. He backs up the maximum distance off of the smoke. And Kazuya just can't find him.
I think it was even crazier than that. He was covered by the barrel from catwalk. Like, he picked the perfect angle. So there was actually maybe a headshot opportunity, but outside of that, that was very tricky. I like it. Can drops the smoke, and then the barrel is utilized as cover. So it's almost as big as your player model. And again, it's hard to find a player in the smoke as it is. So it'll be 8-7 at half, as close as it's going to get. And 50-50 on Dust 2 is fairly standard. So considering Euronics picked up pistol, you'd have to favor maybe alternate, as they had to work a little bit harder for what they got. But moving forward, we'll see who picks up this pistol round as Euronics now move over to the T front. And again, like you had stated, we'll see if those entries on Euronics can look as solid as what we saw from Tizian. And Kiev, again, the amount of rounds that he wasn't able to hit someone on the cross once he had an op in his hands, maybe like 2 or 3 rounds. Everything else, he was at least damaging or killing someone. That was just unreal.
And that's so hard to do, like, as an opper, and something that I now struggle with more because just like, I don't know if like fading reflexes or what, but players, when they're able to do that, like at all levels, you don't see that often. And Kiev, just a very fast guy, I guess. As Searson will be picked on here by Euronics. He's the player that hasn't been fragging at all. He goes down at max distance to that Glock. You gotta get a couple if you're gonna use that spot. Kazuya coming in from the window, but Otto hits him with the jumper, and it gets really difficult for the retake from here.
Yeah, looking like a 2-on-4. Tizian and Crispy both find frags, so it's now looking alright, and David finds himself alone, so alternate bringing themselves right back into the round. David trying to create 1v1s, but he's put down as well, so alternate, they're going to be able to make it work and take pistol round here. So looked like a bleak situation. Again, that was a 2-on-4, was it not? And just fragging out on their way in.
The key duels won by both players, obviously. The guy was constantly jumping up and down in the window. He was blasted away, and then Tizian doing work inside the tunnels. Then the post plant got a little weird for the T side once they lost the window and tunnel player. Both the T's actually tried to rush out of the bomb site. Not a bad idea. Just doesn't work.
If you're Searson, you're like, oh god, what have I done? When you get, like you're stating, like no frags on their way in, but they still retake 2-on-4, you're just like praising your teammates, like, oh hell.
Oh yeah, and then you hit tab and you're like, oh.
They're like,
I should have just lost this pistol round, but thank god my teammates are nuts.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. So we'll see if he can pick it up. Honestly, if he does, we could just see alternate all of a sudden become a little dominant, as they've done fairly decent without his help, as we can see. So we'll see how this pans out. Fails over 2.
And do you pick on him if like say on the first gun round? Alternate know this too. It's not like they're blind to the fact that their teammate is not fragging. So there's the mind game there as well.
And he gets 2 frags on that eco, so padding the stats a little bit. It's 4, and 12. Starting to feel a little better. But yeah, if I'm Euronics, I feel like that would be something to note. You were able to take him down in pistol round quite easily. Oh man,
Kiev. That's
okay.
a statement.
It's one thing. It's one thing to do it on the T side every single round, but to peek middle like that on the CT side, and he finds 2 early here, just nutty play from Kiev. He is honestly, he's doing the most work, obviously, on that CT side. It's a battle between him and Tizian. Tizian's, like, standing around right now with an MP9. He's like, I want to push so bad. He's pulling ahead.
Right.
He's 3 frags ahead of me now. This is ridiculous, but Kiev just showing us a little bit of his op here on Dust 2. It's a decent map to put on a clinic, and he's doing exactly that. Euronics left scratching their heads after this one.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where you reflect and say, what went wrong? Well, Kiev just went nuts and re-peaked mid. Like, you shouldn't be able to do that as the CT side opper if the T's have an op end already. Not to mention another one as Scrum picks up the op and tries to bring it back. Like, you can't take anything away from that round.
Oh, man. The only player, of course, like Searson pushes into upper tunnels. He's like, my turn, my turn, my turn, gets pinned down. No, Searson, no. It's not your turn, unfortunately. He stays at 4-4 now.
In the backpack.
At least for this map, just not looking good for him. But maybe he can find some more eco frags here, as Euronics, they've got 2 flashes to work with, and it looks like the classic tunnels to lower to middle, and Skrunk will flash them out towards mid, and well, he actually flashes towards Cat first, so potentially some sort of catwalk pressure would be pushed off, and second flash towards middle, but again, the lack of smoke evident. Skrunk alone now, and he falls. So sad times. Kazuya, he will take that mow down any day of the week, and that's usually why we see. I feel like $300 when you already invested $400 in flashes might as well, but they decide to go.
I'll take a smoke over a P250 there any day.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're on a budget like that. So let's see where Kiev wants to bring his op this time. He's going towards long. If Euronics want to take fast control, it might be another round that's decided early by the op of Kiev. Now they've been allowed out. How far forward do they go? It's not an immediate split onto the A-bomb site. It's not like alternate have to worry about catwalk right away. But if Euronics post up on this long control and then take into the A-bomb site with the positioning of alternate, this is what you want as a T. If the CT is not to have control of catwalk or long, but they're just going to head out mid to B. And who is it here with the op? Kiev. I don't think he can put himself in the mix. This is really good for Euronics.
Yeah, looking good indeed. Hopefully 3 men can chime in as they're running in through the doors and window, but the CT is not a bad hold. Luckily, Failser with 2 creates a 3-on-3, but it was looking promising for a moment for the CT side, winning a duel apiece, but again, bomb has been planted. See if Kiev can continue his efforts. He's got Tizian with him, so the 2 hot guns still alive here as they work towards tunnels. And, well, Kazuya is posted towards middle. They're working this fairly slow. And that smoke towards tunnels, that creates some problems.
Yeah, that might just decide the round, but Tizian does have a smoke to reply. At least they made it out of the tunnels, but Tizian, he's swinging that AK all about, and he just couldn't find a target. The one spot he elected to check last was the closet, where someone was hiding. So nice round by Euronics there. I think that was more one due to the setup of alternate. Like, they had nobody able to contest from the middle area, nobody inside of the spawn. So it was a straight up 5v2 crunch onto the bomb site. And that's a hard hold. It's almost surprising that they even got 2 out of that.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. It's very difficult to hold as the CTs when you have both angles being utilized against you, or I suppose that's 3 angles, window and doors and tunnels, but we'll see a B rush underway for Euronics to attempt to follow it up, and again, Searson falls and he's not able to get anything done, so if that's the plan of attack here, just attack his bomb site, then, well, it's working out just fine. Kiev boosting up on a teammate's shoulders, trying to peer through the window, but can't find anything. Actually, we do find a nade frag, so Skrunk falls. Otto's going to fall as well.
That was huge.
Quickly, this swings the other direction.
Yeah, Otto needed to win that duel, and he should have. Tizian down to 15. That would allow a whole another angle for Euronics to defend from. Instead, they're just viced inside of the bomb site. 3-man. He's got to go huge, but Tizian's at his back when he falls. He's only able to get 2, though, and he needed to go absolutely off that's a devastating loss for Euronics. Right after they win a round, I mean, they got to force buy here and hope for the best.
Looking like this could be the nail in the coffin, honestly, or at least this round to follow it up if they can't convert off of a force buy. And I guess you could debate that it's not entirely. You could make arguments for the next round, I suppose, but yeah, I feel like going for it here. You've got a Tech 9 on Skrunk, so that's not the best of times. Galil on Failzer, but
it's just this might be their only chance to really hurt that economy of alternate. I mean, say they give them a round, they have another gun round, yeah.
Oh, Tizian. Well, he's stealing away that dream very early here as he spams down 2 towards long, so, well, back to the drawing board.
That's when somebody's like, oh, see, we shouldn't have force spot.
Right, exactly. That negative voice just chimes in. You're like, yeah, whatever. Continue forward.
There's always a one "I told you so" guy on the team.
Definitely.
Don't be that guy.
Sometimes it's good because it's like another opinion that could be like, if you're so like, sometimes like a caller could be a little tunnel visioned on what's going on. Sometimes it's good to have another opinion, but yeah, not when it's just like only when he wants to be like the guy who said "I told you so." It doesn't work out so well.
Coming up, Catwalk.
Following up.
Yeah, he's going huge. Him and Tizian. What's our next map coming up? Let me check real quick.
I believe we've got Overpass, so we will see. We will see.
It is Euronics map choice, so I guess. See, I think Overpass plays out a bit like Dust 2 as far as the entry fragging. Like, I think it'll still show for alternate because on the. I'm getting way ahead of myself. Like, I guess Euronics still have a chance, but this one looks like it's pretty much over with. But the way it plays out specifically at the A-bomb site, I don't see a way that Euronics avoids giving up the entry frags coming in from Kyiv or Tizian. So, I mean, you could definitely approach Overpass more tactfully. It is Euronics map choice, and they're going to have to use that. But I just don't see them stopping the entry frags of alternate.
And looking at previous scorelines here, again, the group that these guys are a part of, I believe it's Group C, indeed it is, Copenhagen Wolves. They were able to beat alternate aTTaX to put them in this position 2-1, and Overpass was the map where alternate aTTaX, they actually beat Copenhagen Wolves 16-6 on it.
Damn.
And they got bodied on the other maps, 16-8 on Cobble, 16-5 on Inferno, so that was honestly the only map that they showed any success, so it's a bit of a scary scoreline to look at if you're Euronics, as in their first match they played Alpha Gaming and they got a total of 8 rounds across 2 maps, period. So Overpass was the third map. We didn't get to see it though, and well, I just don't know if Euronics will be able to make it work as we move forward, but we will find out soon enough how they look on Overpass, as they do have one more shot at a solid rifle round here, but shooting for overtime.
7 in a row. Probably not. I mean, alternate, they still got some in the reserves too. So even to cause an eco, Euronics would need to win 2 consecutive gun rounds, starting with this one. The op of Kyiv, Tizian, these two are, and even Kazuya in the end. I suppose Crisby is a guy we've said his name maybe like once or twice. Searson for the wrong reasons. We're just bashing on him at this point. But alternate trying to rush out of long. They go 1 for 1, and Tizian wants to continue. And reason to be confident in your aim duel. And he does eventually go down towards the B site. 3 men forced to use his smoke as he was charring up a little bit. But Kyiv gonna insert himself into the situation here. They seem to have a good read on where Euronics is going. If David loses this fight, God, Kyiv is just so fast. And that's a tell over to Kyiv. I'd be surprised if he rotates back to A right now.
And considering a flash dropped inside of the tunnels, plenty of feedback that they're going to be coming in here, or you would expect as much as, well, Crisby able to find the final 2. So finally we say his name. 17 frags for him in the end. Honestly, it's not like he played poorly. It's just Kyiv had 30, and he was going off, and Tizian had some outstanding shots as well. So it just...
Kyiv was hungry too.
Yeah, definitely. That's the best way to put it. So... moving on to Overpass, again, I don't know how Euronics are going to be able to make it work. Again, Skrunk is their caller. I know he's a very strategic mind, and Overpass is a map where you need that on the T front, and they will be starting there considering their map choice. The other team gets to pick sides, so we'll see how that pans out. But before we get there, we've got a bit of a demonstration for one of our lovely sponsors, Skin Sanity.
Yep, lovely sponsor, lovely page. It's just so easy on the eyes. But if you haven't heard of skinsanity.gg yet, I suppose it's a good time to figure it out. It's you bid on skins. It's a fresh take in the CS:GO market that's similar to Quibids, if you know what that is. Not sure if they got that over in the European side of things, but how it works, you put your skins in or you put in real money via G2A Pay. They give you a GG point associated with how much your skin was worth or how much real money you put in, and then you use that to bid on different items. Currently, there's an auction up for a USPS kill confirmed. You see it's worth 22 bucks, and the price is currently at 130-ish. Everybody's trying to get in on those deals, and if you're the last player or last person to get your bid in, as the timer does reset after the 10-second point to allow people to try to get their last second bids in. But if you're the final one, you pay that price and the skin is yours. You can save up to 99%. That's the beauty of the website. And you know what's coming, Chad? It's 100% legal.
Well, that is the truth. And shout out to Zenon, as he is one of the people that have a bid currently up for that USPS kill confirmed. So he's a writer for unicorn.com. So check him out as well. Shout out, as he's got mod inside of our channel here. So anyhow, make sure you guys check it out. Again, they support us, so if you guys can support them, that would be fantastic. Our referral link is available right below the channel if you don't want to type in the URL. But if you do want to type it in the old-fashioned way, again, skinsanity.gg/r/RGN. So anyhow, taking a short break here. When we return Overpass, don't go too far. We'll be back in a few.